I thought we needed some funny piggies and cute
Oh
kittens
my God, cute
today.
kids are amazing.
I know, my gosh, I'm so happy for this session here because I've got a friend named Lori Manning Bowles.
Manning Bolus, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bowles. And she is a new client of mine. And the first thing she said when we got together, I said, "Oh, hi, what do you want to do?" And she goes, "I'm a numerologist." And I said, "Let's talk." And we just kind of went on and on and on and on. So I said, "You got to come on the show because you know what? People come to me like this and I know they're ready to go to the next step and I'm right there to help them up." So
Yeah.
Lori, you are ready for that next step, girl. So she's very, very good. In fact, she goes into the numbers a little bit deeper than I do on one section. So this is going to be great. What I was thinking we do, Lori, is I want to mention this while people are coming in. I'd like to read about couples. So
Okay.
if a viewer puts in their birthday and we get their life path, and then maybe there's a frenemy or a mom dad issue or about that ex or something like that, and they put in that birthday, then we can talk about how they meet and how they don't meet. I thought that was interesting. So that's what I'd like to do as a topic today. And yes, Cynthia, we've got a mystery guest. Wow. Hope I'm not detained by life. Ha ha ha. Yes. Me too. You are so busy, Cynthia. I admire you so much. And here is SR. Nice to see you. Looking forward to the show. I do have some news about Kaylee, and CJ is here. Red Dragon. Love this. It's so good to see you. Water Lily. Oh, you snuck in. When did you sneak in? Probably when I was gibbering. CJ, I see your dates. Awesome. On Marby. This is great. Venus is here. Water Lily. Butterfly readings with Linda.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now she's another one. Her website, or sorry, her website probably too, but her channel is at Butterfly Readings. And she is starting her channel out. So we'd like you to subscribe with her. She's a very good advisor. And she's with Judy in the Skies. That's another one. We got a lot of people going up and about. Candy Rocks. Hello, stranger. So good to see you. So let me see who got the cookie. Cynthia got the cookie. She's been going for that cookie. The first one in gets a cookie.
Aww.
But
congratulations, Cynthia.
What's that?
Congratulations, Cynthia.
Yes, and she can choose to share or not, but we are looking and judging.
Of course.
In a loving way. So, Lori, tell everyone about yourself.
I would be happy to. So, hi, everybody. I'm Lori Manning Bolus. I have been reading numbers a long time, gosh, over 20 years. I wrote this down because I did talk a little bit about this to Deborah. I was so psyched to meet with you, by the way, before I forget. You're the first person I wanted to reach out to ever. I listen to a lot of tarot sites, a lot of astrology. I don't see as much on numerology. So when I saw that you did tarot and specifically numerology, I'm like, I have to talk to her. So yeah, that was the. So yeah, a friend gave me the book. The Life You Were Born to Live, and it's by Dan Millman. And I got the book and I kind of leafed through it and I put it down. And then I picked it up about a year later. It was almost a year to the date. And it's as if numerology was waiting for me to absorb it. It just kind of resonated with me, and that was it for the I mean, I listen to tarot, I do look into astrology. I've even dabbled in some palm reading, that sort of thing, but numerology, that's my niche. Everything about numbers I absolutely love, so thank you.
That is
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And I when anybody who goes into this curiosity driven, these modalities and stuff, we're coping with and trying to figure out ourselves. And I always thought, as soon as I figure out myself, I'll be able to tell other people how to do it. That's what
Yeah. Yeah.
And numbers, where numerology was the first modality that really had hard edges, and you can just say follow a protocol and get some really, really good information, I think. But
Absolutely. I agree with you. And I think that, I've got sort of an analytical mind, if you will. So to me, numbers just made sense. It's not that nothing else did, because obviously I pay attention to it all, but numbers just, it was my own personal combination of science and spirituality. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? And
exactly.
that's what it means.
Exactly. Hi, Lauren. It's nice to see you. Carolyn Booker. Hola. I don't think you're in Hawaii, but you might be thinking about Hawaii, and that's why I said it. No, that's not. Is that Hawaii? Mexico. Anyway, I got to tell you, I was going to do next weekend was going to do an intensive to teach numerology, and I'm having trouble with my website scheduling. So anybody who wants to schedule with me, they'll go to my website and find out my schedule, choose a day or whatever, and then you'll have to text me or call me so I can do it manually. I'm having it, and then I'd invoice you. So it's a little bit convoluted, but as soon as I get that straightened around, I want to do an intensive. I want to do, because I think it's so valuable if people knew the basics. They can get their idea, because I was thinking, if I have issues with someone, the one thing I want to do, because they say, oh, forgive them. And I'm thinking, I'll forgive them as soon as I figure out what the heck happened. And they need to have a really good reason why they treated me the way they did or said something the way they did. And numerology tells me the why. Yes.
That's so fascinating, because when I first learned numerology, of course, I read everybody's numbers all around me. That was one of the recommended techniques.
Yeah.
And I could not believe how many people surrounded me, including husband and son and sister, who were 31-4. They were 4 life paths, but specifically 31. So yeah, that blew me away. I really had to delve into that to see what the deal was there.
And
Interesting.
that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with the workshop. So you're prior to the workshop, if you just write down your family's numbers, your daddy's birthday, so those daddy issues and mommy issues, and we'll figure it out. You will figure it out as we move through the numbers and understand it. They'll have these little big epiphanies for sure. So I'm excited about that. So that's I need to address one thing, Lori. It's Kaylee. This time is usually with Kaylee channeling the Holy Spirit. And it was going to be every Sunday. It has been every Sunday. It's been fine. Kaylee is working on something on her property, and she's in a place in America, Alabama, I think, we have 4 separate seasons. And so before it gets ultra hot or extra cold and snowy, she has to do some work on her property, and it's a big. So she's not, when anybody's anxious, it's hard to serve others. She just have to go do the work. So that's what she's going to take a little break. And we'll just make do without her for a little while. But I want to tell you that she will be able to help you on an individual basis. So it's just the show and the readings in the show that she's not able to do at this time. My show, she might show up somewhere else. So definitely go to @Thanks Holy Spirit to sign up to be a subscriber. So when she does come back on, you can catch her. Or if you want, hi, Louisa, if you just want to email her, she will take your, absolutely do readings for you. She's fine with that. So that's where that is. And also I had I had a viewer contact me last night after we talked, Lori, after we talked, and says, "Are you going to go online to talk to people about what Trump just did, which is throw a bomb out?" And I wasn't able to do that because I was overwhelmed with my website stuff. So I'm sorry I wasn't there for you guys, but I did some research and had an idea for us to ponder, and that is when the European Union creates their own international laws, international, what is it called? We have a foreign, we have a foreign policy. A lot of people have foreign policies except for Europe. And as Europe starts to realize that Big Daddy USA is not really Big Daddy USA, that's it. And then I got to think about NATO, right? About NATO, where if someone picks on you, we'll go fight for you. Well, how did that serve? How many wars did Canada start? How many wars did Mexico start? They're all in the NATO, and so it's all in, we choose something and then draw everybody else in. So anyway, there's that, but everything's going to, hi Barbara, everything's going to be ironing out. It's just that as we scramble towards that, it'll get weird, and you look out your window and see Rome burning, but understand that there is going to be such a cool world on the other side of this, and we'll see glimpses of that. What do you think, Lori?
No, I have to say that I agree with that. I'm very, I don't know what the word is, pleased, but not really pleased, encouraged by the fact that next year is a 1 year. And, and it kind of means to me that there are new beginnings happening. So I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and my head down and hope that we get to that without too much trouble in this world, right?
Yes, Wilder Lily. It's gonna get weird to see a 9 universal year.
Yes.
Is and how you figure that out? It's the same year,
the actual
all
year
over the world. Yeah, it's just the year.
The year itself adds up to
itself
9.
is
Right.
That's
So
how you know the whole
5.
world is the whole world has to give up stuff that's not working for them anymore.
Right.
So European Union has to give up the fact that USA isn't working for them anymore, right? And so
now I'm going to go after I get off here. I'm going to go through and write out European Union and check that out.
Yeah, European Union has been. They have good ideas. They haven't executed them though. But if they don't soon develop their own sense of self, and then because we have to decide. And you know what Americans have to give up? This is my theory. But we have to give up the idea that we're the best one in the room. I mean, it's been fed for us all our lives. It's very patriotic, rah, rah, but we are not the superpower that I spent my life thinking we were. Yes, we can bully, definitely. And we can say we're the best of everything. Are we the biggest economy? Are we really the biggest military? I don't know. Nonetheless, we're... so that's what I'm working on giving up as far as an American.
Yeah. And I think that it's also interesting that we haven't fought in a war since World War II, Vietnam. But I mean, the last time America was totally immersed in a war, wasn't it World War II? Am I incorrect there?
Well, we've got Afghanistan, Iraq, because ever since 9/11, there was that new doctrine that came in that said America can hurt anybody they want for no reason. And so I don't know. I think they were wars, definitely.
Don't follow wars very much.
Oh, Maureen. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. She says, I've decided to take a step back from the political situations affecting your PTSD. I agree. And so we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, and I apologize if it affected you. But one of the messages I wanted to say is that this is going to get better. and so it's just, you got to trust me. Trust me.
No,
Uh,
I agree with you. I agree with you. I
yeah,
think it's definitely going to get better. It's
yeah,
just going to take
just
some
start.
time and things could get a little hinky before they get better, you know?
Yeah,
But I agree. It seems like we're going to go in a positive direction.
yeah. And Red Dragon said, yeah. Annie, thank you. Annie Hamlet's in the house too. Thank you for being here. And now we've got you all together. Um, we can start. I've got some people start here, but some of you, Heart and Soul Connected, a new, thank you, Allie, a new member. Appreciate that so much. Appreciate you. And CJ, you gave me two birth dates. Thank you so much, yourself and your mother. And that's one we're going to start reading on. Um, and Marby, you gave me one birth date. Is there some? And Maureen, you gave me one birth date. Water Lily, one birthday. And I've got Red Dragon with two birthdays. So if you could, we're just gonna, because I think what this does is
Well,
give an
yeah,
idea.
25,
Yeah,
19.
it gives an idea on how different people directed to you, this is regarding you, how people perceive your information and how they receive the information they give you. So we've got CJ at that. And you just jump in, Lori, when you get it, because you're going to get a big hit of information. Mom.
Oh,
See, did you hear that? That's exactly what I do. You just go,
well, I love the fact that 625 1971 adds up to a 22 or 22 4. So 22 is a master number, which is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. You're the strong, steady type. Practical. Oh, interesting. Mama is a 31-4. Very interesting. Is that what you got?
So I'm not sure. The only ones that I saw, and I don't remember who this is, and I'm so sorry to. 817. Is that say 1950?
Yes, it does.
So I add up a little bit differently than you. I do it two ways. So what I did was I added up the individual cycles. So the 7 + 1 = 8. The 1950 adds up to a 6. And I added the 8 and 6 and got 22 4. So again, I'm seeing a master number there. The
Mhm.
same with the 6 25 1971. I added up the individual cycles and I got a 6 and a 7 and a 9 and added them up to a 22 4. So they exactly match.
Mhm.
I think it's
So each ends up to be a 4. This is a good lesson. So it doesn't matter how you add it up, really.
right.
You're going to have basically a 4. So if you add it up, so I let me just make my own calculations.
Sure. Take your
Uh,
time.
yeah, because I have them both at a 31-4. So what does that mean? So what it means is that master numbers have a little bit harder time of navigating. Sometimes only because there's that pressure that they need to build something for humanity versus the regular 4 where they need to build something for their life and their family and their security. So that's kind of how I perceive it.
Okay. So I would say the same thing. I agree that the master number can. So it's the person's choice whether they should use that master number, because sometimes it gets, to your point, it gets very difficult to navigate that.
Mhm.
So they may experience high highs and they may experience low lows. That's very typical of master energy. But I think that I totally agree with you about the 4. They're building something for their life. And if it so happens that they've got a kind of uh, idea that they want to put out there for the universal building, if you will, they may work into the master number, but they don't have to. It's not something that's necessary.
Right, right. The master numbers are 11, 22, 33, 44, 55s. I'd have met couple 55s.
My
And
daughter, 55.
oh my
That's why
gosh.
I'm so, versed on the master numbers. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So you'll understand. I've got you, SR. Excuse me. Um, so I, so we were on Maureen, I think. Yeah. No, we weren't. I've got a star Maureen. Sorry. Getting distracted here.
No, take your time. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't throw you off by
Not at
saying.
all. You can just keep gibbering while I do this, Annie. So we're doing comparisons and how to navigate people. Uh, Annie, that's why we're asking for 2 birth dates. So the one thing I do is I stick with one theory. Not theory. I stick with one way to add up the numbers, and I teach it just one way to add up the numbers.
Okay.
And the reason I have switched to one number after another is because sometimes I miss the master numbers, but the same with the other way, right?
Right.
And so what I do is if I do get a 2, a 4, 6, then I'll readjust and see what do it the other way to
Gotcha.
find out if there's a so there's that. But when I teach, it's sometimes not fun to add up each section and adds to it, and then you subtract, carry the one, and all that stuff. And also, I believe that it's a new world and a new way of doing things, and it gets us into the higher octaves. I think if we do one after another, there are a few numerologists online that are doing that. I did it personally because I like easy, and I don't know what you do, but do you think of personal years?
I do. I do them specifically for myself, which is a little bit selfish, isn't it? But when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I will look up their personal year and tell them, give them maybe that particular year and where they're going for the next maybe 9 years, and explain to them that they can calculate this by calculating their birth date with the current year. Um, and then I have a whole formulation for the days and everything else. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
right.
it's a lot of fun to do.
Oh, Cynthia, you're a master number 11. That's right. Have no clue what is happening now. I'll listen. Well, you can go online and Google what does the master number 11 mean in numerology and read up on that. There's, I believe you're a 2911. So that would be if you can master your emotions and tame your emotions, you'd be able to rise above any adversity. But sometimes that's really hard to do. 3811 has a greater chance to do that. But I'm just looking for more questions. Sorry. Oh, I'm missing someone. Boop, boop, boop. 2, I haven't heard of you. Have I met you before, sweetheart? 2, Maravosa Hista Coaching. Hystera Coaching. Interesting. So I have you started. We will get through as many as we can. So that's in as far as it's so that they speak the same language, mom and I believe it's Maureen, and they speak the same language with the 31-4 or the 22-4 speak the same language. And so a lot of times they'll butt heads only because the 4 are determined. They determine themselves, they're self-determined. And so when they build an idea in their mind with the 4 corners and their declaration of truth, it's hard to roll them around and change their mind. So if you both honored each other's stubbornness, then things can be quite nice. So I hope that helps.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
think that the if they're following the master energy, which they have to both keep in mind that one could have highs and one could have lows, and they might be opposite of each other. Who knows? So it's important to remember that in their relationship.
Yeah, CJ, I hope this helps. I'm going to skip on down to another double digit here.
So I don't.
So what here? What? Here we go. So Red Dragon says, could you compare the numerology between my son Austin and my daughter-in-law, Arena? So his is 7988.
And hers is 73089.
Yeah. Excuse me. So we'll just get our heads down. Um,
Neat. Interesting.
what'd you get?
6. Okay. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23.
Oh, you do it in your head?
Yeah, no, I'm actually writing it down. I should have brought my phone. Well, this is my phone. What am I saying?
Right. I do calculations. So what'd you get for?
So let me just recalculate this a second. 8 and 9 is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So her son is a 6, and your daughter-in-law is a 1, which one of them is very family oriented, and that would be your son. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he um there's no but. Your daughter-in-law is a 1, which means she's an idea person. She's a very she's very outwardly oriented. They need it's not even a need. It sounds as if from these numbers that they support each other very well. They both have the 7 as their initial cycle, which is their 7 months. So again, I'm going a little bit further into the numbers, I think, than you do. But those 7s are great. They're both very smart people and very positive people. They can. I find these numbers to be very compatible. I don't know. Do you agree with that, Deborah?
Yeah, as long as they honor each other's, I want to stay home, but I want to go to the movies. If they manage their adultness, that would be very, very good. Definitely. I concur. So there's one here that says, reversed images says, is an 11 an empath? I'm finding it so difficult to focus lately. And that's because if you reduce an 11, it's a 2. So a 2, they can't say no. They're very empathic, very psychic. And so that's so that's part of it. And again, that triggers your emotions. The 2911 triggers emotions. 38's too, but it's, yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So let me see. Oh, Marby, thank you so much. Sure. Marby gave a super sticker, so we'll just take you right now. So
2/11, 1942. Is that right?
yes, 2/11, 1942.
Okay.
And then Marby is 10/9/67.
10/9/67.
So we'll see the dynamics between mom and daughter.
So,
What'd you get?
oh my goodness, that's so funny. So the 2/11/1942. Well, I'll add up the other one. So 10, 16. No. Okay. So the 1942 number is a master number. It adds up to an 11, but of course reduces to a 2, which to me, that's a very emotional person, and very supportive woman, very supportive. And I say woman, I'm sorry, it may, I think so. So
Mom,
mom, yes, okay, I'm sorry.
it's
um
good.
so yeah, so that's amazing. Kind of goes along with what you were just talking about, the happy energy, the very supportive, very at, there may be times where you have to back yourself up just a little bit and let this person fly. This person is your daughter, your son. Is it your daughter?
That's Marby is her birthday, I believe.
Okay, for some
Marby,
reason,
help us out here. Whose birthday was the first one? I think it's your birthday.
10/9/67. Okay, so that's the one I got as a 6. Is
And
that
I
what?
got as a 33.
33. Oh, wow. See, I went for 15/6 because I didn't do it across. So I only did the cycle. So that's a good lesson to have. Thank you. So
Yeah.
yeah, with that 33/6, my goodness. Go ahead, you read on that. So
The 33 6 and the 11 2, even if it is just, I hate to say just two, everybody on the planet living now in this era, in this incredible time, I always think of like if I get a 2, I always think about the 11s and speak to them from there. And so again, the the 33 6 is divine order, and the 2, the 11, is they have their own opinions, but they can comply.
mm,
So I would think if mom was a 2 and daughter was a 33, it would be a good relationship. So it would be an empath anticipating daughter's needs, because the 33 wants to steer the boat.
33 definitely likes to steer the boat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they
Yeah.
most definitely do. But is a very family oriented person.
Mhm.
Always has the family needs in their mind, which is
Mhm.
good. That's
Mhm.
a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Oh, we've got Christine. Thank you so much, Christine, for your donation. We've got Daddy at 11:30:40, and Christine is 1370.
Is that 3 or 31? I'm sorry.
It's a 1370.
71, 70.
Yeah, I could see where that would confuse you. Yeah, gosh. So I'm getting a 3 out of Christine.
Yes, I am as well. So 2. That's a 5.
Oh boy.
And then I got a 1 out of her father. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
That's what I got.
Right. And I don't see much of an issue with the 3 and the 1. I will say that sometimes that energy that's making up the 3 energy can be very vibrant and very, oh, I don't know. They're good communicators. They're good communicators, maybe in writing or in maybe in speech, but a lot of times I see 3s. They love to, they had that joy of living. I love that. I love that about them. And the 1 can be very my way or the highway kind of, but it's okay. When they get together in a positive way, boy, it's really good stuff, and at least from my standpoint.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. If there is trouble, it's when it would phase into the 1, I want to be right, follow me, just assume that I'm correct, and then the 3 saying things get difficult, so they make excuses. They're very
Mm,
good at creativity, and
mm,
so they need to have a good reason why things are happening, and they can, in their imagination, placate to a one until it snaps, and then it's really 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 hard. Let me check one thing here. Whoops. Oh gosh. So I'm just looking to see if have I read for Maureen yet? I don't think so. She gave a super sticker, so I want to honor that. So and Cynthia, thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. Time flies when we're having fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
So Christine, I'll bless you and leave you with that. I know there's a struggle now, and you've been taken. Reality has made you have to like be attentive and sober about things, and that's not your nature. I mean, you're very articulate, you can do a lot of things, but you thrive when you laugh. Laughter is where you thrive, and you have time enough to create certain things and figure out things. But you can solve problems. You're a good problem solver for sure. But yeah, so I know things are hard, but things are going to get better because you're making boundaries for sure. So we've got that. I'm going to just look here for Maureen. Maureen, you made a super sticker, and I'm trying to figure out if I've already read you or not. I'm just looking here. So this is Maureen, and it was 1946. I haven't got a 46, so I think
no, I don't have that.
Yeah, okay, so we're good. Sorry about that. I am not a very good coordinator. So you are 70, and then mom 7, 21, 46.
Oh.
Go ahead. You got a hit?
Well, I only have one of them done, which is terrible. 5, 10, 27. And the other is a 9. So the one I have is an 11-2, and that's the 1946 number.
Really?
Yeah. So again, I did that. I did the ad based on the cycles instead of going across. So I don't know if you'll have something else, which I think you will, but it'll get to 2 anyway. Correct?
I got a 3. I got a 30/3.
All right. So
So
let's
it's a little too far off to be. Maybe I did it wrong, but
let's see here. Oh, here we go. There's where I messed up. I'm sorry. I just took my 2 down instead of adding the 1 with it and didn't get a 3. So my bad. So I did get a 3. Yes, you're absolutely right. So excuse my incorrectness there. So that's a different ball of wax. So that's actually, I like the 9 and the 3 together. I think their energy is very positive. The 9 person, the 1970 person, tends to be more of a finisher, and the 1946 person tends to be a little bit more of a very much a joy of living person, which it gives the 9 person something to say, to feed off of in a positive way. I don't know, that's just my thoughts
I
on it.
like it. I like it. I like it. I'm just checking the group here. And so, Maureen, thank you for your super sticker. I concur. That's the thing. We always have mommy issues and daddy issues and all of that stuff. I did talk to one 2911 who had a perfect childhood.
Oh, that's scary to me.
Yeah,
My
it
son used to say he had a perfect childhood, and I'm thinking, oh, nobody has a perfect
is.
childhood.
We have to have issues, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people who I'm sure is fine with that. So I don't know. It's crazy. So I
Maybe.
am going to bless you and leave you with that. And thank you for the donation.
Thank you, Maureen.
Yeah, so sweet. And we got Did I read? We read from Marby, yeah.
There was somebody that early on that left a number, but just left one number. It was in 1959, 10/18, 1959.
I'm looking.
It was very early on. I'm so sorry. I couldn't read the name.
Okay, well, that's all right. No problem. Just go ahead and say it. Somebody
So,
knows your birthday, so go ahead and say the birthday and then say what you got.
so I got a 7 on that. So I thought you might want, I loved your explanation of a 7 yesterday when you said that they were just the smartest person in the room. I love that. I just love that because that's so true of every
Yeah,
7 I've
that's
ever
yeah,
met.
that's like the good news. The bad news is they're the smartest people in the room.
Right.
So you can cut both ways. But sevens are very mystical too. They do get, whether you think you're metaphysical or not, or talented or not, you get more information from the upper octaves than the average person without working hard for it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. And so, yeah.
Especially as a life path number. It's a difficult number to have because they know that they feel like they're slightly different. It's not that they are different. They're not. They're absolutely perfect and wonderful the way they are, but they
Mhm.
feel a little bit different and there's no reason to. You're yeah, I think sevens are wonderful. So
They are. They are. They are. So thanks for hooking into that. I didn't see it. So
oh, I'm sorry. It
the
was
next
early.
double whammy we have is April. So SR is here. 42169. I know it's hard to see on your phone, so I'll just sing it out. That's SR. And then her sis is June 2672.
Okay. And I have to make sure I add up my twos and my ones there.
And
Hmm.
then, so SRU are 32.5. So, love, hate.
Yeah, that's a tough
It's tough.
that's a tough number. They probably get along better now, but they misunderstand each other quite often because one is a 5, which is very freedom loving and very I want to be out there trying new things, and the other one is a 6. And that 6 wants to stay home and do more family oriented things. But they probably understand each other better now than they did when they were, so
Yeah.
my
So,
guess.
SR, I know you're watching SR. I would love to hear one thing. Can you please tell me this? Do you find your sister bossy and bullheaded? Because I got a 33 the way I added it, and
uh
they can be
yeah, and
bossy
I
and
did
bullheaded.
it differently. I added it. I really got to start doing my regular thing there.
So see, here we go into this is Maureen. We just talked about. She said my mom had no material instinct when it comes to me. She left me brothers. See all this tragedy, but understanding the pros and cons of a life path number, because you can understand how they process information and how they process information and how where their end of their rope is. For a 5, having too much of the same thing in life, the rut and stuff, that could be devastating to the point where they will snap and leave.
Yep.
If it was 3, they'll try. If they can't make it into a joke, then that's the end of their rope. There's different ways, different points of no return that a person has of tolerance, and each life path number will kind of give you an idea of what is in their life on too much, what is too much in their life that is keeping them from feeling themselves. And it will, people will act out on really bad ways.
Mm,
That hurts. And I'm
yeah.
sorry you went through that. Do you know astrology? Yeah, I haven't studied astrology. Carolyn was saying, is my astrology good?
Oh my goodness.
So,
So,
well, let's
well,
see here.
13. Oh gosh, 813. That's still a Cancer,
Oh,
right?
you do know that. Yeah, she's a
Well, yeah, it's the 13th. So the cusp for that month is the 20th or 21st or something. So that turns into Leo. But as a Cancer, the Cancer is a very family oriented number. So let's see what your numbers are.
she's a
That's
32-5 or a
57.
5. She's a 5 life path.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's interesting.
She
So,
draws
so
on the Leo. She draws on the Leo.
yeah, which might be more to her liking. I know my daughter is born on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius, and she says she only relates to Sagittarius, will not be called a Scorpio. That's it. It's like, okay. So, you know,
I love that.
what can you say?
I'm looking here. Delphi Ross says, I am a dinosaur, and just have the one, the one. Once we get past, if there's time, we'll go back to the one, someone who just gave their birth date. But I
Okay.
kind of wanted to do the
The-
look over here and there. But Carolyn, I loved what you said. And next on the list is Annie. So she says, my birthday is 12/26/42. And husband is 2/8/43. So this will be very interesting. Thank you for identifying them. 42. And you're a 20, well, you're a 9. I'll just say 9. 42, 43. You got the same life path, life lessons and everything.
Yep, exactly. I
Yeah.
especially when you did the 1942, I thought, oh, if that's a 9, so is the 43.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's actually, and they're both,
It's
um,
nice.
they're both. I love 9s. I think the 9 is a very fun number to have. It's not too crazy, and yet it's not like the only issue that I can see the 9s having is being a self starter. And it's not even an issue. It's just like, well, they know they have to. They're living life, So you've got to get started at some point, and but they're just content to contribute to their charities that are lovely and wonderful, and sit down and watch a good movie.
Right.
So that's
There you
that's
go.
that's the impression I get with
I
them.
agree. I agree. That's good. Good, good, good. I'm just going down here. Yes, Delphi, let's go ahead and can you compare the astrology of my daughter? No, this is numerology today. Don't go into astrology. We're doing numerology. So we'll stay on.
Birth
Huh?
date, though. She's given 2 birth dates. Daughter-in-law is
Yeah.
4 in 1983. What 10? Oops, I must write that. 1983. And what was the other one?
5,
And
4,
and her.
49,
Okay, so her is 5 for.
49, 49.
I'm sorry, I'm having such a hard time seeing, and I wear glasses. So, and
All
I
right. It's on your phone.
yesterday you said about my eyes, and I'm like, my eyes. I have to make sure I take care of my eyes.
And so, okay. Uh-huh. So this is unique. I'm glad you're the one that's a 5. life path. But daughter-in-law can be, she has an idea of how things need to be, and she's not as flexible as you. So I guess you're good for each other as long as you both have room to allow the other one to not be as serious. But she's no nonsense, kind of quiet. She speaks, but and when she has an idea of who she is, and there's no talking her out of it, which is fine. Which is awesome. But with you, you're more that go by the seat of your pants. Let's try something new. So you're more comfortable with change, but she's more comfortable with risk. So I know that sounds almost like the same, but there's eights. You think, oh, eights are always rich. No, I've experienced more poor eights than rich eights because of that comfort level with risk. They'll put it all on red, whereas a 5 will say a penny here, a penny there, and
Right.
that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
I want to put a penny on everything, is what the 5 says. Yeah. Give it all to me. It sounds like fun. And the 8 says, no. Hold on. Put it all right here.
So she is saying that this is an awful situation. This is quite interesting. She's saying, and me is awful. I could see where, if I can be so bold, when we have these new declarations of truth, let's say you're just a gal, and you have this declaration of truth of what you are as this person. And then every stage of your life, like when you start dating, you become a different kind of personality because you're the first time identifying as someone dating. And then you're engaged, you become a different personality to that because you're filtering life through a fiance, almost married person. Once you get to the marriage, when you're married, you have a declaration of truth, and then children have a declaration of truth. And each time that for her, it gets more rigid, more rigid. And so with you, it's just, let's carry on, let's have some fun. But if something goes wrong at the beginning of the event, then pouting will, she'll pout a little bit. But it would be hard to tolerate but imagine her exhaustion for having to have the world a certain way all the time. I find that to be a sad thing. That'd be exhausting.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know sorry, I don't remember her name. Delphi. What is your son's birthday? Is he still in the picture?
Oh, here it is. Son is 222. I love that.
79.
22279. Let's figure him out.
So that's 10.
1979.
That's it.
Hey, mama's boy. In a good way. So he's a little more carefree. So I can see where, was it your daughter-in-law? Your daughter-in-law is kind of steer clear, but you do have your son, so you can commiserate.
I'd be curious to know, maybe it's not my business, but I'd be curious to know how they get on, and if she is frustrated by the fact that her husband is so much like his mother. I'm not sure, but even at that, it seems like that would be a good influence, the 5 to the 8, but I don't know.
It's good for the 8. She says, he has ADHD, is hide. I'm not sure what that means, but there's I could see a compulsiveness to a 5 because everything's a bit fractious. And if you try to be more serious when you're naturally not as serious, when you have to pay attention, be grown up and stuff, it can kind of break you. And Delphi says here, He tries to hide something that is impossible.
So he's trying to hide the fact that he has ADHD. Is that the issue?
Sounds
Sounds
like
like,
it.
yeah.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Um, which can be difficult. It almost seems I know somebody who tried to hide their ADHD by too much alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it became an issue to where they once they got on medication, they were fine. They stopped drinking, they stopped, you know.
Mm.
So I don't know. And so, yes, to that point, that might be something that they don't want to hide any longer. Maybe it would be a good idea to say, hey, go talk to a doctor about this, or I don't know.
And she says, my grandson is autistic, and she is embarrassed about that.
Oh, that's a shame.
Amazing dynamic. What we agree to prior to incarnating, sometimes you think, what the heck was I thinking? But I can see where if you back up far enough about it, she married a person that um, that struggles in a way that her son is struggling. And so it's life saving because she's planning all the doctor visits and the this and the that because she's divine order, right? And so there's someone doing some of the looking at the grown up stuff.
Are you thinking that the daughter-in-law might be somewhat trying to, I hate to use the word controlling.
Yeah,
But
use it.
yeah, I mean, do you think that that's what she's trying to do in this situation, is control the 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 visits, the doctor visits, and everybody?
Yeah,
Because
it can go into the shadow side, but for the most part, someone has to do that. We've got a family of fives
right,
and an autistic person. And then they hire this, not hire, but include bring in an eight to make sure the rent gets paid and then this and that. And so that's her happy place. Sorry, that's just her happy place. And so yeah, it's annoying, but things are done. And so does she move into the bossy bitch? Yeah, at times she will because she's married to a five, for Christ's sake.
right.
So I mean, you got to understand that what she took on a family that doesn't have that divine order about them. So she's alone on this island, and she feels misunderstood and dismissed.
Right. That's very, very nice of you to look at both ends of it that way. I appreciate that about you. This is why I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday. Everybody knows, because you do. You're very kind. You're very astute to everyone's part in this. And look, I like that about
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we try to do our best, and then we assume that that's not true or something on some level. And but I can see people being annoyed. I think we have time for one more at least. Amanda Carroll. So it's her is, I'll read it out for you. It's 12/10/63.
Okay.
And then my beautiful daughter.
7/5/2000.
Yeah. That's an easy one to add up.
Say. Especially the ones that are in that year of the 2000, because they're typically, well, not always, but typically it only adds up to one number, so it's interesting.
Do you interpret that as like, because remember, we have to change, the whole world is changing everywhere. Do you think that is a pure five, because she's a five, a pure five would be an archetypal, being more of the, it's like in astrology, if you were born on the equator at a certain time, it's like you become the archetype of that sign.
It's interesting that you say that, because I remember thinking that during the early 2000s, especially with one numbers and the two numbers, because it would be like 2/1/2000. It's like, oh my gosh, that person's only a five. That's it.
Yeah.
And that was part of my thought process. So I'm not sure.
Really?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? I think
Yes, it
that's fun to
is.
think about. Um,
Let's see. Let's go to this.
yes,
Oh,
you are a 5. Yep, you got it. You're a 5, 23-5. Exactly.
yeah. Well, they're both fives.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I find to be fascinating. And no wonder, even though every little girl is beautiful, every little girl is beautiful. And if you have a daughter, I hope you find her as beautiful as we think they are. But to be the same number like that and to have that same 5 energy, it's going to be a fun few years. Now, those teenage years could be a little bit interesting. Oh, that's right. You're beyond that. You're 25. So I'm thinking she would be 25 by now. She's got to be a gorgeous girl. She's got to be
Gorgeous. 5s
wonderful.
are the prettiest ones.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, 7s are the smartest, but 5s
Yeah.
are the prettiest. Most likely, except there's a couple of politicians I went through because I went down the rabbit hole of numbers, and did serial
Yeah.
killers and political figures and all that stuff. And so many people that work like investigative reporters, like CNN and MSNBC, but they're on the road, out and about. Kate Collins or something like that. Like she's a 5. A lot of them are 5s, more comfortable in front of the camera than behind the camera, and they're quick to absorb information and then process it in a good way, move it out, and then you go to the next system, right? So it's but a lot of beautiful people are 5. So I'm so enjoy this. It's almost like I don't mean to offend, because I know that there's been hard times in everybody's life, but sometimes you get this little sweet union, and it becomes like a vacation life when it comes to that union. And so absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, wow. This has been fun.
Yes, it has. I've loved this. And so, yeah, we've gotten everybody in there. That's wonderful.
Pretty much everybody. And I got to tell you, this has been really fun. And now Lori does readings.
Yes, I do.
So we both do readings. Of course, you know how I can do readings for you. And to do a reading with you, I have it in the show. Do I have it in the show notes? I might not. Oh gosh, I'll check. I'll check that. But I'll make sure that you have what you need to get a hold of her. Would you go ahead and tell me your email address right now so I can type it in?
Absolutely. It's L Manning Bolis, BOLIS, at gmail.com.
Oh, I need new glasses now.
See, I'm telling you.
It's everywhere. So L Manning with 2 N's.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna put it up here, and so you look close. Oh, you don't see the chat.
I tried. That's okay. I did try.
That's okay. No, I've got it on, but I'm going to put it in the show notes because I might have been distracted with the issue with my website, and I should have put that in there. But I'll make sure, so because she is taking clients, and so but you just need to email her and say, hey, what you got? And she'll get right back to you. I think this is the beginning. As I mentioned before, I meet people who are I say, put down the books.
I know.
And start working.
I loved it. I love that you said that because, well, and I won't go into it, but I did tell you where I got into this book, this other volume, and I said, okay, I'm done doing this. I'm done reading. I do readings all the time, and I just want to talk to somebody and you just, it's like I was attracted to you.
Oh, so thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, we had a blast yesterday. I thought, okay, let's go on. And I won't make you think about it too long.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. I want to thank everyone for coming in, and And I really enjoyed it. I know you were expecting something else like Kaylee, and we're just going to have to give her room to do her life because she's got some things she needs to get done. And but subscribe to her channel, which is at Thanks Holy Spirit, and then and I'll be back around. And thank you so much. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And we love you. There, Amanda Carroll is a new member. She just popped up. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So until next time, we love you.